All right. Good morning. Good evening. Good night. It's another episode of Layer1Live. Goddamn. It's happy. I'm happy to see you guys. I'm happy to see Dimitri. It's a happy day. We got 30 people in the chat already. We literally just started 5 seconds ago. The chat is absolutely phenomenal right now. God, it's good to see you guys, man. And we'll talk about this LAD stuff here in a second. But Dima, what's going on, my man?
Yeah, man. I'm feeling fantastic. Happy Monday to everyone. We had quite of a long night. So we do have big cups of coffee for today's episode because, we obviously did have that launch, right? So we're staying up a little bit late to make sure everyone is, all okay and answering questions and all these things. So it was fun. It was great times.
Yeah, it was a late night. We had a bunch of people in the house. They were in the lounge, just waiting for us to press the go button, or to kind of watch us as the liquidity went live. And we can officially say the LADZ token is live, man. It's been a run. It's been about 4 months, almost to the day that we launched with Roll. Shout out to the Roll guy. Shout out to Sid. Shout out to Bradley. It's been a fun time, guys. The chat is just popping off, so we might have to get to that right off the bat. But it's good to see everybody in the chat. All-time high is going to be 63, which I think we're going to get to today, based on the early numbers. We probably have a good chance, but it's great to see everybody. I don't know. You want to give any quick shout-outs, Dima?
Yeah, absolutely. Like Bruno is saying, regional time of the day, everyone. Asmodi saying the same. So long distance high five to you guys. Scott is saying you all started late. So he's a good lad. He knows the right time when we should be starting. He's calling us out, and he gets the credit there.
We need that sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Keep us on our toes. Eric is in the house. Lads Victory Monday. Hell yeah. Looks like chat is it. Looks like NFT Army is rating us as well already in the beginning. So glad to have you guys on board. Pinnacle is in the house. Lamb on mic. It's just everybody's in.
It is. It's a good day. Everyone's excited for the launch of the token. I'm going to pull up some information here, including the liquidity pool itself, but I might be able to get our Substack that we sent out to this morning. Guys, if you're brand new, this is Layer 1. We are a content network that covers the entire cryptocurrency, pretty much industry. We have the LADZ community who's been powering us since the beginning, so we're super excited that we got to do this last night. I'm going to pull it up here and see if I can't pull it on the screen. Let's see. We got LADZ launch Uniswap tutorial. So basically, we put this out. We kind of explained that it has been a second, but we wanted to take our time with this. We know there's a lot of other social tokens out there, but we believe our community is absolutely killing it. So we kind of go on to explain that, and then we go to the light paper as well as the mining campaign. You can see the links there. The official token contract address is also there, and then you can actually go and look at a step-by-step that you can get into the LADZ liquidity pool, and then I will also bring up the analytics from the liquidity pool itself. So this is not investment advice, by the way. I want to point that out to all you guys listening out there. But Dimitri, what was your takeaways from last night and from what's happening with the LADZ token right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like there's someone saying that the bottom speaker, meaning me, is a little bit quiet. Or wait, that's you actually. You're the one on the bottom. Me. Yeah. So let us know if Q's mic is a little bit low.
Okay.
Usually it's me, but anyways, okay. Q's sounding quiet. So yeah, see if we can fix that. But anyway, so yeah, last night, I mean, it was great to have everybody hop in and kind of execute this whole plan that we had in place, right? And following all these guidelines, and it was, we couldn't ask for anything better. The launch was perfect. The liquidity was added, and we're starting to see some of the kind of exchanges happening on there as well. So and for the miners, obviously, that are participating in liquidity mining, you will be starting to earn these rewards. We will start distributing actually today. As we mentioned before, you have 24 hours since the launch of liquidity to participate. In order to qualify for rewards, there's daily rewards. There's also full phase rewards. First phase is 7 days. So after 7 days, we'll distribute that bonus to those guys in liquidity mining pools. But overall, the turnout is great. The turnout actually for the initial liquidity went over our target, which is fantastic. I'm glad to have all the support and the support that we've seen. So it's amazing.
Yeah, you can see the numbers here. Total liquidity 67K, volumes 11K. So we're just super excited about what's going on with LADZ token. We're happy to finally get that done, but it was a cool turnout. If you guys have any questions, the LADZ members in our Discord have been really awesome about kind of interacting with the new LADZ members that don't know exactly what's going on. So I did drop that link in the chat for you guys if you want to check out the post from last night. But again, I'm at a loss for words. Let me know if my mic is a little bit better. I turned myself up a bit, but yeah, we're just super excited about this whole process, man. We're glad you guys are along for the ride. We're gonna do so many things with the LADZ token that it's gonna be an awesome time utility wise for everyone. So can't wait to do that.
Absolutely. We got some stories also from last night that have to do with the lads of the week. What do we got there, Q? Who's the lad of the week?
Yeah, so we always do lad of the week, obviously, and we do alpha of the week. So the two lads of the week, one is going to be Scott. Scott, I told everybody that I would be bringing this up, but Scott had a lot of issues with Ledger. Zach ended up helping him out with that, but he went through hell and high water just to get into the LADZ pool. Llama as well, waiting and to pull the trigger. So yeah, Scott had a lot of issues getting into the actual pool. I mean, he went through a lot of hoops and he finally got in. So a lad of the week is going to be Scott, along with Easy. Easy kind of is a real humble guy here because we have a story from Play to Earn. Apparently the Meta Olympics was going on, and as you can see in the boldface print here, Easy won the Meta Olympics. So the Meta Olympics within crypto voxels, my man Easy won. So we wanted to give him a quick shout out, a lad winning a competition. So those guys are going to be the lads of the week. And then we have the alpha of the week as Loadmaster, as he dropped a ton again of NFT schedules. We have a lot of sales coming up, but Load definitely was dropping hot fire in the chat in the Discord today. So speaking of hot fire, man, we have to get to like at least some of these comments before they disappear on us because there's so many of them. I got
one Interferno. Greetings from Germany. I love your show and the information you share. I'm sure you will have many more subscribers soon. Thank you for the nice work. So Dankeschön to you, sir. We're glad to have you on board and glad that you enjoy. So this is the reason why we do these things, because of you guys. You guys power us to do this.
Absolutely, man. You've been teaching Kieran some Ukrainian, I've heard in the chat a couple times. So maybe we start that new series. Guys, I see P-Knuckle. I see Llama. Mike Scott. Easy's in the house. Juan is in the house. Paul, I mean, you guys are absolute buffs in the house. We're doing a LADZ radio after this. We'll get it to you here in a second when we go over the schedule here, guys. So many of you guys in the chat, man. It's almost hard to keep up. I remember when we were first starting this, man, and it would be like us three with Mike, obviously, and like two other guys. So it's awesome where we've gone, and we're halfway up the mountain. We're at the tippity top and only halfway up. I totally messed that one up.
Exactly. Chat is super lit. We came a long way. Before it used to be like, I would have to ask my siblings to ask some questions or, like neighbors or friends, like, come on, man, just ask some. So it's like not only us there,
awesome.
But yeah, we've grown for sure.
Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to get to the schedule. We're going to get to the stats, and then we're going to get into the episode. Shout out to the NFT army as well. It looks like we got a bunch of them in the house today. So it's top 5 countries. We're going to have US, UK, Australia, Canada, and Germany this week. The top 3 episodes from this past week were number 1, that episode with Joel and Travis from the Bad Crypto podcast. We have the Axie Infinity episode, which is still taking in a ton of views. And then the episode with Andrew Steinwald on NFTs. As you can see in the rolling images, the schedule for this week, we've got Layer1Live today, LADZ Radio immediately following this episode. Tuesday is going to be Dimitri's Desk. Wednesday, NFT Live. Thursday is going to be Thanksgiving. I doubt we get any content out. We're spending time with our families. You should as well. And then Friday is going to be Dimitri's Desk again, coming at you live. So that is the schedule for the week. I believe we are ready to go. Again, Social Token. Lads, it's out there to the world. Let us know, or let the world know about what we're doing here. But we do have lads that you're earning here today. You know the drill. So
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be dropping the link to claim lads throughout the episode. So stick around with us and get some lads that will be dropped later on. But yeah, we looks like, we do have quite a bit of news, right, since last week. And, sometimes we go through weeks where it's like, not much of a news, right? But this week looks like we have a good amount. Some of them are good. Some of them are not so good, especially in the DeFi space. There's some more wreckage happening. So, we'll definitely be covering that. But yeah, I think we have a pretty good stack of news that can steer up some interesting discussions.
Yeah, we'll get to breaking here. Once again, thanks for following along, guys. If you're new here, we're covering the broad cryptocurrency industry. You can see over here to my left, your right, you can see the columns that we're following. So we've touched on LADs. We're going to touch on them in the discussion a little bit more later in the episode. But we also have breaking quick news, EOS, DeFi, and NFTs today. So got a broad breadth of information that we have to cover, which we will do so today. So let's move into breaking. I'm going to leave the LADS discussion to the LADS discussion to the discussion portion of the episode, and we'll touch on the first bit of news, which is ETH 2.0. This could have its own separate kind of category altogether. So maybe we spend some time touching on this, but ETH 2.0, what's going on the latest with staking there?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, everybody knows that ETH 2.0 kind of became like a meme at this point, but, everybody's watching that progress bar. Basically, they obviously need to get to a certain amount ETH staked before they can move into that. I believe it's phase 0 to launch. And it looks like right now, 2 hours ago, looks like we're at 71.3% in terms of how much ETH was staked. And they need about 150,000 more ETH to launch ETH 2 to be staked. So all eyes are on that. And the way they describe it is basically they were planning to launch on December 1st, but they need to get to that target 7 days before December 1st, which means tomorrow is basically the last day for them to hit that 100% mark to have that staked, which given how things are progressing, you should probably, say that it will happen. I think it might happen like last minute. Might be some players maybe are, waiting. But overall, we'll see. Obviously, if this doesn't happen, then it would suck to see, that being delayed, right? They're just going to push it a little bit further, probably another week or so. But I think in general, they'll get there.
Yeah, it seems like 72% is going to be close enough to where right at the end you'll see a ton. I remember when ETH 2.0, when the staking first went live, it actually came from Vitalik that he thought, and he had used like previous examples of having a deadline for getting a certain amount in the pool, that a lot does happen in that last 8 hours, in that last 12 hours. So the fact that it's already at 72%, 74%, that's pretty good. But we will see if it hits the mark. If it doesn't hit the mark, it's going to be a 7-day delay, correct? Before they reopen the pool to get more staking in. Is that the pool, or is it just going to straight up go live? How does that work if it doesn't go live on those 7 days?
Yeah, I think they're just going to delay it, right, until they gather enough ETH, and then they'll have it start live. But there's going to be that 7-day buffer that is going to be in place from basically the time that they do gather and are ready to launch. I think Llama is saying that there's 126,000 now left. So it is filling up quickly, because 2 hours ago it was 150,000, right? So you can see already kind of that effect that's taking place. I'm pretty sure they will, get enough. And I think that's going to be a very positive thing just in general for ETH, obviously, because of ETH moving to that ETH 2.0. That's, even if it just 2x is the speed of transactions and makes things just 2x better, then you could say probably that should be reflected in the price as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the other protocols, the scaling protocols as well, right? You got DOT, you've got Solana, you've got EOS that we always talk about. it'll be interesting to see what happens when ETH 2.0. I'm still on the bearish side with this getting launched, but the fact that this stuff is happening is a good thing, obviously. So I'm not trying to like throw any shade. I just think that I'm on the side of ETH 2.0 taking forever, which is what's happened over the past couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think the time couldn't be better, especially with the given market conditions that we have right now, for this to go through and continue to kind of perform there. So that's pretty much breaking news. If we're ready here to hop into quick news, because that kind of goes along with Ethereum.
Yeah, we can get on that. Kieran's saying, "Sir, I'm an Australian. Thanksgiving what?" I see the Discord popping off too, so I appreciate all the recruits and all the nomads that are trying to rank up to that recruit role, helping out all the new people. So I see that in Discord. I appreciate you guys helping out. It means a lot. So we can move on to quick news, and then we will get to the discussion portion of the episode.
Awesome. Yeah. So big news coming from good old Grayscale, right? So we all know with Grayscale and their Bitcoin Trust. And, they basically saying that they've, launched the ETH trust that's, going to allow people to participate. Like, you're gonna allow IRAs and certain other players, Roth IRAs and other brokerage and investment accounts to participate and have exposure to ETH. This is fantastic because it's basically the first publicly quoted ETH investment product in US. So it's basically tailored towards the institutions and so on. It's regulated. It's covering all kinds of things just so IRAs and these financial advisors, brokerages, and so on can interact with ETH trust in US officially. So that's pretty big. Obviously, if we do get interest from IRAs and so on, right, these financial advisors, there's a lot of money in there. And we're seeing a lot now where those players are diversifying now, right, because they're kind of stuck in a way where it's like, it's either they're heavy on equities, right, which is if you're on one boat, then you're overly exposed. And, crypto obviously offers an alternative investment where you put maybe a smaller amount of investment into exposure on ETH, let's say, or on Bitcoin. And, small amounts for IRAs is a very big amount for crypto. So I think this is in general, again, good news as we see Grayscale launching this and offering this product to these type participants.
Yeah, I know PayPal is something we're going to touch on here in a second, but bigger firms, they can get into Ethereum. They can get into some of the small, I would put in quotations, smaller tokens here after they get exposure to ETH, which is kind of what's happening here, right? Grayscale had all of these products roll out for Bitcoin and then finally kind of rolled out their services for ETH as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That is correct. And it's funny, it's everybody's waiting for the ETF, right? When ETF, but Grayscale is taking the opportunity before the actual ETF comes out to have a product that gives the ability for these other institutions to interact with crypto before the ETF is actually being released. So I think that they're doing a pretty good job there. And obviously, it has a functionality there that attracts institutional investors to be able to provide this product in terms of they make pretty good money offering it, right? So let's not be this is not all like just, hey, they're doing like charity here. They are making money off offering this product. So
yeah, I'm getting into way more discussion than we like to do in quick news, but the portion I want to touch on here is whether you see, I think in the thumbnail we had Bitcoin or altcoins as like kind of a point of interest with all of this institutional money kind of going in, and then we see kind of maybe retail maybe coming into the market. You see a lot of like smaller market cap tokens. What's your take on the market right now with these bigger institutions obviously getting into ETH and offering services there? Is this going to kind of flow down, or what stage are we in when it comes to the altcoins or macro tokens?
Yeah, that's a very good question. It's when we see, I think the institutional side of things is still gonna be interested in just Bitcoin, ETH, just like the big ones. Now the reason why we've seen also other altcoins performing really well is because we just see in general kind of money pouring into crypto, and there's also, you have to keep in mind that there are funds, hedge funds, and big traders that look for correlations, meaning that, all right, if BTC goes up, if ETH goes up, then XRP should go up X amount, or this should go up X amount. The correlations right there, or maybe some of them that are negatively correlated, right? And those algorithms start triggering, right, those trades, and that's when we see, right, we see this broad market like lift off, right? But it's like, if you think about it, well, does it have to do anything with the innovation that XRP is doing? Probably not, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's really not much there, right? Ripple is doing their own thing, which we're going to talk about maybe a little bit later, but Ripple is doing this thing that has nothing to do with, XRP. So I think a lot of this is just based on correlations and systems that are in place, that we see the broad market rallying as the main ones are rallying, like ETH and BTC.
I think everybody knows that it's because you can own a full Ripple token. That's why Ripple's pumping. You can't own a full Bitcoin if you don't have a ton of money, and you can actually own one Ripple. I totally butchered that joke, but anyways, guys, let's we want to hear from you guys. Obviously, we're here having this discussion. What do you make of kind of the inflows in crypto when it comes to money? Does that kind of trickle down into the altcoins? How are you playing it? Are you going to be in Bitcoin, ETH, or some of the other altcoins? So, all right, let's move on to the next piece of quick news. We'll keep a lookout in the chat to see if anybody kind of comes through with some comments on what we just talked about. But go ahead.
Yeah. So moving right along, the next piece of quick news is basically coming from Chainlink. In regards to the flash loans drama that continues to happen in DeFi, right? We will talk about the Pickle situation. Obviously, they got into quite of a pickle. Anyway, so flash loans. There was a pretty good write up from Chainlink that talks about basically the importance of kind of setting up the right infrastructure, so you're not you're isolating that risk and lowering the risk of being tempered by flash loans. And they go into basically explaining that the problem is that dexes and certain exchanges, they use a single kind of source of price when it comes to information, and that's when things start getting out of hand, because creative people that use flash loans, they are able to manipulate the prices, that one single price feed that the exchange is getting, and therefore they're able to exploit that and essentially harm the liquidity pool in general. So I think more awareness, Chainlink is doing a great job, more awareness and putting this out to make sure that all these other platforms that are getting set up, to make sure that they have enough different price data that they're getting from different sources, not just a single source that can trigger this attack in a flash loan kind of setup there. So they explain very detailed and very kind of easy to understand in terms of how a flash loan can be exploiting a contract. This basically 5 steps, and you can see that basically borrowing, swapping, and then depositing, and then basically it gets to the point where the collateral you put up is way less than the loan amount that you end up taking, which it's pretty interesting, engineering in that sense. So I think they're doing a good job in raising the alarm and raising awareness in that sense. So eventually we'll move to a better system where these flash loans, and I know I've talked about them in the past, even though they're causing some damage, really they weren't intended for that, right? They do good things in terms of arbitrage and making the overall market efficient. Yeah, there are some players that do get a lot of headlines right now because they're pointing out some holes, but eventually flash loans, will come out of that, and they'll still be providing more efficiency to the market.
If the diversification of the price oracles and getting that from decentralized exchanges can solve this, why haven't all of these projects moved to that type of process? Is just the foundation's not laid to do so?
Yeah, I guess it's just the players that haven't done so because they haven't experienced that issue in the past.
Hmm.
But the more issues we see of that being exploited, the more they're raising awareness and starting to perhaps think about how they can switch to it. So yeah.
Okay, awesome, man. All right, so we got this next piece of quick news. Dimitri almost touched on it there for a second in the previous story, but XRP. We also had, I believe, Ronan come through and said, my buddy who's just dipping his toes is going in on XRP. And I got to tell you, over the past week, I had the same experience. Some random guy who I met once, who we talked about crypto, got my number, and literally just had never texted me before. He was asking me this week if XRP is the play, and I don't understand how the mass market knows about XRP in this fashion. I don't get it. I don't really understand it, but we'll go into this story real quick. It's just crazy to me how every other person has this story of saying, "Oh yeah, my second brother's cousin told me about XRP," and I don't know how we got here, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. It's actually, XRP is quite popular in Latin America, and I've also had friends that reach out and say, "Hey, listen, XRP is looking good. It's probably gonna pop, and so on." I'm like, dude, like really, like let me tell you this, like you don't know what you're talking about,
And
like
then it pumps
XRP.
50%.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, wow, like if I didn't know all these like fundamental things that we know just based on history of XRP and so on and Ripple, then like we would not have that kind of biased kind of opinion when we look at the price. But anyway, so yeah, this next piece of quick news is basically Ripple seeks directed to engage with central banks on digital currency. And this obviously has to do with the CBDC and all these talks that we hear about, the government trying to launch that and they're experimenting with it. And basically, there's a job posting that is looking for that type of director to engage with central banks and kind of help them, I guess, in a way of consulting on how to set up the CBDC, which is crazy because before there's so many kind of like issues with XRP and Ripple in terms of regulatory side of things. And now they just come out and like, hey, listen, we're just going to help you with this whole thing. And like now we're seeing, governments or they're at least attempting to work with the government on getting them set up on a digital dollar, right? It's like unbelievable how things have changed.
It really is. It really is. I saw a tweet this morning that actually was like super bullish. It was talking about how when this next wave of retail actually comes into the market, there actually is going to be a lot of things that are built out as opposed to the last market where everything was essentially vaporware. We knew firsthand. We were there at ICO alert back in 2017, and that retail wave, yeah, they were buying into tokens, but nothing. Not much. I don't know. Can you even tell me a product from 2017 at the time?
That already had a product and
Was like associated with a token that increased in value. Was there an actual product that had any fundamental basis for why it was doing what it did? Besides maybe ETH. Maybe ETH was building out its like supercomputer or the new internet narrative.
yeah, Tron. They have 8 billion users, man. 8 billion users.
All right. Oh, we have some good comments, but the one comment I need to get to, and we want to kind of move past this. I love Orlando. Orlando is awesome. We talked about living in Hawaii because I lived in Hawaii for 8 years of my life over there in Pearl City. I grew up there. I have friends there still to this day, so we kind of bonded on that. But I have to address this. He always comes in and he says, I think I'm going to read it here. Aloha lads, awesome day, awesome community. Dimitri and Brandon are always bringing the cutting edge info. So what's what's happening here? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Orlando, Q. Please call me Q. We must have got lost in translation there. But Brandon is our community manager, and Q is right here. So I appreciate you so much, but we just wanted to give you a hard time there for a second.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like okay, so we do have two last pieces of quick news before we hop into discussion. which is kind of our favorite piece there. So what do we got, Q?
Yeah, I've got a quick piece of news. It looks like I had a calendar invite for Joel. That's going to be unfortunate. All right. Mintbase raises $1 million. It looks like they are building on the Near protocol. Mintbase is not your, I guess, typical NFT marketplace. They're definitely attacking the minting process. So if you can kind of see in this article, you can see that Sino Global led this round along with Arweave, D1 Ventures, Block Oracle Capital. So we saw a bunch of kind of people in this round. They raised $1 million. There's a couple different interesting quotes here that I'll probably read off. It looks like Mintbase was talking about the difference between them and Super Rare, Rareable, OpenSea, and he was talking about them getting more, those other platforms getting more publicity, and we get more usage, which I guess when you're trying to talk about narrative, they're attacking the actual minting process. So there's also another interesting quote. We weren't interested. This comes from Sino Global Capital, the team that led the round. We weren't interested in just acquiring a few NFTs for trades. We are interested in investing in supporting the vision, or we are investing to support their vision with our China-centric network. So interesting to see NFTs play out overseas, specifically in the Asia region. Do you have any comments there?
Yeah, it's interesting. So we saw obviously DeFi was super popular on that side of the world. So I guess NFTs are, would you say, like, I guess NFTs are not as dominant in Asia as the rest of the world, and they're kind of catching up, unlike DeFi where they dominated that, and then everybody else was catching up.
I don't know. I feel like Asia, at least Japan, Korea, they're very, at least I think, collectible focused. They've shown to be very like heavily focused on collectibles. So I don't have that data because often wallets are anonymous. So
Yeah, gotcha. Orlando is saying thanks for the clarity. LOL, dang, I had a mixed plate all along. Paul is saying when LADZ goes to $10, is there going to be a retreat in Hawaii? Oh, you guys are great.
I am messaging Joel Com right now, telling him that we're gonna have to push that meeting 30 minutes. All right, so we got the last piece of news here from the quick news. OKEx. This is a big piece of news actually. OKEx is actually allowing withdrawals and deposits. We know that they had that issue with the federal government over there in China. There was a private key issue. And there was a stop on withdrawals because one of the people who had this private key, and it's obviously within a multi-sig type of environment, they were kind of cooperating with authorities. So it looks like just from this official OKEx announcement, withdrawals will now be open. It looks like, and I'll read directly from the article here, presently one of the OKEx's private key holders has completed assisting the authorities in a previously referenced investigation. OKEx was confirmed not to have been involved in any wrongdoing or illegal activities, and the private key holder has now returned to his normal business functions. So it looks like withdrawals are going to be open. I think they're doing it on a basis of additional KYC, or they're just making sure that the people who are actually withdrawing, I think they're having to go through a certain process. So it's not going to be completely... I may be wrong here, but it because it's saying OKEx will open unrestricted withdrawals on or before November 27th. So that's basically what we have there. I think they are doing a little bit extra from kind of monitoring these accounts that are actually withdrawing. But other than that, it looks like open season at OKEx again.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like we have to watch the number of live viewers very closely as we're getting close to the all-time high Q. But in regards to OKEx, it's interesting. Obviously, they haven't given the exact date when they're gonna start doing the withdrawals. They just said before this Friday is when it's gonna, start unrolling, and we're seeing some stuff kind of coming into place. Like, I think some of the officials at OKEx have been testing some withdrawals as a test, but in general, you want to be careful because there's two things there. Okay, so one thing is mainly because there were so many withdrawals that have been put in once the withdrawals got locked, right? There's a whole log of withdrawals, right? And it's like, well, all right, like, do those people want to withdraw now, or maybe they changed their mind? Maybe it was initial reaction, right, to withdraw, right? So and then once they open the kind of gates, they don't want to have overloading system as well in terms of withdrawal. So they're going to slowly roll this out, and I'm glad that they kind of fixed everything and made things right with whatever the investigation was. I guess it wasn't the OKEx that was doing wrongdoing. It was kind of more of what I was expecting, where it was an account that probably had dirty money or whatever. And law enforcement wanted to seize that, and they wanted to identify that individual and all these accounts that he might be linked to on OKEx to make sure that they work that out. So I think that's what ended up happening, but good to see that OKEx is starting to kind of come back into the normal side of things. And you can see it's crazy, the premiums that like some of the crypto is trading on OKEx. It's like pretty ridiculous. Like you'll see the premium for Bitcoin, for ETH, like over the overall where the market is priced. So
yeah, I'm definitely a champion for decentralized exchanges. Obviously, we have LADZ, which is trading on a decentralized exchange. Like, I hope that we can figure out the UX UI and make it easier for people to participate in decentralized exchanges, because you have all of these issues when you're trading on a centralized exchange. I'm not a burn the world down type of guy, but I definitely see the benefits of a decentralized exchange there. You don't need to have your accounts frozen or have your accounts be suspended in withdrawals and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we're seeing quite a bit of DEXs getting quite a bit of volume now.
Yeah. So we almost touched 64. I think we hit 62. We're at 56 currently. It looks like the lads are in the chat planning our trip to Hawaii or Costa Rica. So that'll be interesting to see. It looks like Dimitri's on his way to Hawaii right now, guys. But we are planning on getting into the discussion portion. You like that? All right. Yeah, so we are getting into the discussion portion here. Let's touch on a couple comments here quickly. If you have any more comments you can see before we hop into the discussion about PayPal and then LADZ token.
Yeah, let me take a look. See, there's definitely discussions about the retreat. Looks like, there's just a lot of hype. Kieran says Rup meeting. I guess he's referring to you. Weed Miner's in the house. He's doing the dabs. So there's a meme force representing.
Yeah, Easy is getting us represented in the meme force. He heads up that project. We'll definitely be working closely with them as well as Easy here in the near future, hopefully. So yeah, shout out to the meme force guys. They do events, I believe, every Monday. So they have an event, I guess, today. So
awesome.
Yeah, shout out.
Hell yeah.
All right, so I guess the last one that I had. Actually, no, you covered meme force, so we're good to go. Shout out to everybody that is new. Obviously, if you're here for the first time, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're covering broad crypto today on Layer1Live. We do TA on Tuesdays and Fridays. We do NFTs on Wednesdays. And then we have Layer1 Podcast where we're interviewing the best founders in the space. God, we're getting good at that.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
We're getting good at that. All right, go ahead.
Ari is asking one Binance.
God, they're gonna come back to these videos. If they ever pinch us, they're gonna come back to these videos, bro. So, all right, go ahead, man.
All right, discussions. Let's hop into discussions. We obviously, have this big piece of discussion that has been occurring, right? Everybody knows PayPal has dipped their, hands into the Bitcoin cookie jar, right? And they have now enabled people to be able to, basically buy Bitcoin. First they started out with the wait list, it had a limited amount of people, but then it was like, all right, that's it, man. It's all good. We'll just open up the gates and everybody can have it, access to that feature and start buying crypto. And it's interesting, there was a piece of news that talked about that PayPal basically was bought up 70% of all newly minted Bitcoin last month as demand rockets, which is not a shocker considering how big PayPal is, how many users they have, how many merchants they work with, and by having that feature to enable a smooth kind of transactions and all that stuff that they provide as a service, to merchants, they have to have a certain amount of Bitcoin. Now, the only thing is that right now, I don't believe you can withdraw Bitcoin from PayPal into like MetaMask, for example, right? So everybody from crypto community be like, oh, wait a minute here. What is going on? So because ideally, everybody in crypto, they like to move their stuff around freely, right? It's a whole thing about it that, hey, listen, I own Bitcoin, it's my Bitcoin, and I can do whatever I want with it. But the main thing that I want to discuss is that PayPal, and if they've made announcements, specifically PayPal CEO, we had one of the lads drop that in the Discord today, where basically he talked on CNBC, and he was talking about how he's bullish on Bitcoin and overall crypto, and that they're seeing this their kind of plan and their value here is that they want to bring Bitcoin to payment services, like meaning that going back to that whole rhetoric back in the day when we were talking about using Bitcoin for purchasing, right, as a currency, right? But it seemed like we've moved away from that because we were like, oh, wait a minute. No, it's actually not, a currency. It's not for transactions because obviously of the limitations of the network, it makes no sense to do these microtransactions. You can't handle that. Oh, it's a store of value now. Okay. So it's more like gold, right? It's a hedge against inflation. That has been the rhetoric for some time. But PayPal is coming back to this. Wait a minute. No, we're just going to make this thing as a transactional currency where we're going to enable you to do these transactions and use it as a currency in general. So that is kind of the debate that, everyone is having. It's like, well, which one is it? Right.
Yeah, it's interesting, man, because when you first brought the story to me, I was like, okay, what's kind of the topic and what's the debate here? Or what's kind of the two warring kind of ideas? And it is that idea that payment, being able to use Bitcoin for like payments has always been something that was there for a while and then obviously went away over time. The fact that Bitcoin can almost do both. And here's my question. Could it be one of the first assets where you would actually do both?
Yeah. It is interesting. Technically you could, it's like, the question is like, who's going to be using, let's say Bitcoin to spend if Bitcoin is going up, right? It's kind of like somebody wrote, using crypto said, hey, haha, buy a pizza, It's like, remember that guy who bought a pizza? Like,
Easy specifically talking about buying a pizza there with a gold bar, which kind of goes to the same. It was almost just as hard to do that with Bitcoin back in 2010. You'd have to sit there. You'd have to expect the mom and pop to actually accept Bitcoin at a point of sale. And then you have to go through all the UX UI issues of waiting there and doing all that stuff. So it was almost just as hard as walking up to the register with some gold, shillings there and saying, oh, I want to pay for a pizza. So that's gone now, though, with PayPal, which is exactly the point you're making. It's like, okay, PayPal's removed that issue. Can it be used as a payment system now? It's fascinating, dude. I love this discussion.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think like another thing is just that slow down the overall kind of the ability for people to pay merchants using their Bitcoin is the fact that merchants don't care about Bitcoin. They don't want Bitcoin, right? And they're operating on certain margins, especially if you talk, about like restaurants or like clothing lines and so on, right? They have certain margins and they have overhead costs, and that's everything calculated in dollars. So if they do take on Bitcoin and Bitcoin ends up retracing a little bit, that really hits their margins a lot. So the whole point of having the ability to spend Bitcoin with these merchants was the fact that if you are spending Bitcoin, the merchants get paid in dollars, right? So there's that instant conversion. So this way, the merchants are not exposed to the Bitcoin volatility. They still get paid in dollars, but you are utilizing your own, Bitcoin to actually pay at these places that don't even accept Bitcoin, right? So, and that is the fantastic part about it.
Yeah, it's So basically, for those people who I think everyone gets this situation, right? PayPal is actually handling the conversion between gold and USD, and the mom and pop is getting USD and not Bitcoin. It will be interesting to see one day when mom and pops take directly and add that to their reserve or their books and things like that. That'll be super interesting. Man, I don't think people are talking about this enough. I think, especially with the rise in interest in borrowing and lending, someone would be more apt to spend that interest as opposed to maybe having that as their not earning any interest and actually depleting their reserves of BTC. What do you make of that?
Yeah, that's a good point. Everybody kind of has their own setup, right? It's like somebody maybe wants to use Bitcoin for transactions and they want to have the ability to transact in Bitcoin. Some people that don't like that dirty fiat and I'm Bitcoin only, right? Well, guess what, right? The world is still kind of run by the greenback, so you still have to kind of interact with greenback, right? But if you have a platform that allows you to hold Bitcoin and you're holding Bitcoin, and then when you buy certain things with Bitcoin, you have to spend it, right? You have to spend some money, right? This way, you're still holding Bitcoin, but the merchants are getting paid in dollars, which helps those people that are on the extreme end of, like, let's say, no fiat at all type of stuff.
So when is the last time an asset has been both a medium of exchange and a store of value? Was it like back in the day, just gold bars, people like paying like at the market with like gold shillings or something like that?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you could say so. Back when gold was around, but I mean, you could technically say like back in the day, maybe dollar was a store of value if there was no inflation, right? If it was deflationary setup. So yeah, it's very interesting to see how that's going to play out. But obviously, we see the effect of PayPal and how it's being reflected in the markets, and overall, you see on CNBC, Squawk Box is loving it. It's talking about it, about the CEO and PayPal and the vision that they have. So we'll see what's going to happen there.
I got you. All right, let us know what you guys think. Are you on team medium of exchange, or you're on team store of value? Let us know. Put that in the chat, man. It's a great discussion. I definitely appreciate you bringing that up, because I think it's important to talk about going forward. Let's see. Rustin saying people in non-U.S. countries use the USD as a store of value because it's stable. Paul Young saying 1964 when quarters were still made of silver. Yeah, it looks like Easy's accepting BTC and NFT art for CBDs. Shout out to my man. And then Rustin's also saying BTC is a store of value at this point. So yeah, great discussion. Good points. We're gonna touch on LADZ here. I want to touch on this. It looks like Joel's expecting me here in like the next, I would say 25 minutes, Dima. So we're gonna fly through the rest of this episode here. So we've got, let's see. Also, we hit 62. So guys, we need to hit 64. Let's get it done. Let's hit that all-time high.
We don't have that much time.
All right. I dropped the link to the first reward. As you guys noticed, it is 50 LADZ now. We obviously are live. We have to adjust the USD value. Or not adjust the USD value, but we have to adjust based on the USD value of LADZ. So definitely appreciate you guys stopping by today. Claim your LADZ there. That should be more than enough for a little bit of your time today. So appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll adjusted that. We also obviously have that sheet that we've dropped in terms of the breakdown for the budgeting, right? That we have allocated on a monthly basis, so you guys can see all the numbers and how that add up in terms of how we looking to reach that full kind of breakdown that we had in the light paper of how much the community will own, how much all these other kind of categories will own, and so on. So we have that plan, and therefore there might be some fluctuations in terms of rewards that will be distributed, throughout the month.
So guys, if we hit all-time high, I'm dropping another link, obviously for the second round. I love the comments that are coming through. Bruno saying inflation is kicking in. What else do we have? P-Knuckle saying we halved.
Yeah, that's great. I love the LADZ, man.
Oh God, we got a new error on roll. I thought we got past this, guys. Let's see if anybody's been able to claim. It looks like, yeah, we've had people come in and claim, so there's an ability there. Guys, if we hit 64, we're dropping another link for your lads. Good luck to everyone claiming. If you're having issues, log out, log back in, do what you got to do.
Looks like people are coming in saying raw solid for me, done. Things are looking pretty good. So yeah, we want to hit the lads real quick. Yeah, so obviously we've launched, and now people have the ability to basically acquire lads, right? You can farm the lads through mining rewards, right? Or you can farm lads by watching our content, or if somebody wants to, let's say, sell their lads or exchange their lads, there's an ability to do that now as well. Now with obviously you already know the first utility of lads that we have right now is basically the access to Discord. You have to have 1,000 lads in your wallet in order to have Discord access and to all the things and categories that we have in channels or discuss NFTs, trading, and all that good stuff that you guys are already seen. Now, we obviously want to be building out more utilities, and we've had multiple ideas and so on additional utilities for holders that hold, maybe perhaps more lads and so on. So one of the utilities that is coming up here very, very shortly, and some of the lads already know, I've covered it during kind of the mining webinars that we had, is Layer 1 research that we're going to be posting in Discord. It's going to be a specific Layer 1 research Discord channel that will have an X amount requirement for you to have of labs. And we will be posting, we already have, what is it? I guess we have 4 different articles, different research articles that are provided by Stefan and his team. They do a great job. That's going to be posted in that Discord channel that, right now we have XDive, Amatic, and 2 others that I don't remember off the top of my head, but they basically research is about 7 to 8 pages long, and it goes over kind of the advantages and what they're trying to fix, the solutions, and how do they compare to competitors and so on, the team. And it's kind of pretty good overview if you're looking to get to know the project and so on. One thing that's going to be very interesting also is that it's not the research that we think would be cool to have, that we just come up ourselves. We also ask the community what kind of research they want to see more, right? If you find a project with some kind of theme in the market and you'd like to see more research on it, we can have that be tailored to you, right? So it's kind of like research on demand from Layer 1, where when you have access to this channel, you can request these reports and they'll be done and delivered in that channel. So that is super exciting because I've been talking about it with the team as well as Stefan, and we've seen this research come through, and it's fantastic and it's great, and I can't wait to share it with you guys and get that set up on Discord so you guys can have access and take a look at it. We'll probably make maybe one that you can just view publicly so you guys can see kind of the structure there and see the quality of them. But the whole point of it is that it's not only going to be based on what we think is interesting to do research on, but what you guys are interested to see research on. And that's kind of the idea there.
Yeah, so this, I love the research report analysis you just made. That's going to be a huge benefit. One of the things that we want to do with Layer1Live, or just Layer 1 in general, is have this content network be an umbrella over the entire blockchain industry, right? We're not just NFT focused. We're not just DeFi focused. We're not just one protocol focused. We have the ability to build this community large over the entire industry. So we have guys who are really interested in DeFi, like Steph, that he comes in and does these reports, and then it benefits you that may not know that much about DeFi. And then the other way around, right? We have some NFT guys. We have some guys who are super interested in EOS, super interested in, I think Solana's come up a bunch. Liquid Apps is another one. So the ability for lads to make lads better because we're a larger community and we're so spread out, that helps us, right? We've seen people drop DeFi alpha, NFT alpha. So that really helps us out. Research reports are going to be awesome. The other things that we're going to get to you this week, and this is kind of leading to the discussion, which we'll have to keep a little bit muted today. So we've got a couple different blog posts coming out for you. So we got the liquidity mining and Uniswap tutorial out this morning, sometime around, I believe, 4 a.m. And then we posted it on our social media at around 10. And we have also the, I believe, earn and utility post coming tomorrow. So we're going to kind of lay out all of the ways you can earn LADs. These are for you guys as well as the outside community. And then the utility that we're going to consistently try to build out. It's such a deep hole, and it's such a white rabbit, we always say. So we are, continuously trying to build out utility. Eventually, we'll have hard staking. We'll have tools for you to lock up LADs and do really cool things. So that's part of the discussion piece. And then that we'll get to here in like 30 seconds. The last bit I wanted to tell you, we have the LADZ vault that we're going to get into this week as well. So expect a post about the LADZ vault, all of the NFTs we have in there up to this point, what we're trying to do with the LADZ vault, and who we're trying to bring on to help with that. We think the LADZ vault can be really cool. It's not an exact one-for-one of the Whale Vault. I think they're super focused on that specifically, where the LADZ Vault will be just one piece of what we're doing with the LADZ token. So super interested in that. We'll get that post out to you this week. And then Ronan has a bunch of artist drops that we're doing specifically for LADZ that we're going to add to the LADZ Vault. Just a lot of different things that we'll get to you this week. So expect those 3 posts: Earn and Utility, LADZ Vault, and the NFT artist drops that will have likely a calendar built out for you guys. So that's
amazing.
Yeah, that's what we got. I guess the discussion piece that I want to open up here is what you guys think we could do as far as utility that might make Layer 1 better, that makes LADZ better, that makes NFT Live better, Dimitri's desk. What can we do at Layer 1 that we're not doing right now that can help make the community better in and of itself? So
Yeah, absolutely. And drop those proposals, in Discord channel as well. We do have the what we call LIP, right? Layer 1 improvement proposals. So you can definitely drop the ideas there, and we'll continue to build that out on our end.
Yeah, we hit 64, so I'm going to drop that other link. Let me see if the other one is fully claimed, guys. I dropped that rewards link. It looks like we have all 50 claimed. So
wow, that was quick.
That was definitely quick. We're going to be dropping the second link here in about 5 minutes, but I want to get your comments here. This is what we have Layer1Live for. This is what we're doing a lot of our content for. We can interact specifically with you guys to the open world as well. How can we make LADZ better? Let's see some comments come through, and then we'll discuss them here live, and then move on to DeFi and NFTs. So.
Yeah. I mean, looks like the vault idea in NFTs is obviously a huge one. Looks like the lads are responding to that. So they love that idea. More kind of gaming around the NFTs is definitely going to be popular.
All right, let's see. Maybe you need to up it to 100 possible. Paul's trying to get more LADZ out of us.
Paul is trying to shake us down.
All right. So while we're waiting for you guys to, I think that might be a lip, adding to 100, going to 100 when we do these giveaways. But while we're waiting for these comments, I want to touch on Blankos really quick. Just moving the column over to EOS because we do have that time crunch there. Apologies for that, guys. But we have the column moved over here to EOS, and then we'll touch on a little bit of LADZ before moving on to DeFi and NFTs. Block One's been super silent this past couple weeks. We've seen EOS kind of rise in price. I think upwards to in the last 7 days somewhere around 40%, a little bit less than that. There's no fundamental news really. Block One has still been on radio silence. Some guys from the PBE, the Public Blockchain Engagement Group, have put announcements out. And nothing has really come of it. They've saying, we covered that 2 weeks ago where the guy said, "You ready?" And then literally radio silence. So EOS has seen a good increase in price. We're happy to see that. There hasn't been anything from Block One. Hopefully it comes soon. But the Blankos launch was an amazing success. We had John Linden on NFT Live and did an actual live interview with him where we got to be on the game and got to do that with him. So amazing success. We'll see how that plays into EOS going forward. Hopefully and John did say they're working closely with Block One. So hopefully that leads to success and assets being on the EOS main chain. That would be the successful culmination of this situation. So what do we got coming through?
We got 60. I think we reached 65 viewers, but looks like we're coming. We're getting some stuff. Let me see. Rustin is saying, "I'd love some crypto trading fundamental videos, not so much point in time type of stuff." Let me see what else we got here.
Noob-centric content is interesting. I think especially when you add the role addition where you're trying to link the wallet into the Discord. I've brought some of my friends in. They're like, okay, what the hell? Like, I don't know what's happening here. So that is interesting. I also think it could provide a broader net for lads.
Yeah, Bruno is saying you should let that crush go. EOS.
Damn. Sir, I'm up 30%. Don't hate. Come on now. Anything else coming through? I'm getting this all-time high link ready. I'll drop it in the next 5 minutes, guys, for you. So appreciate us hitting all-time highs again.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So as lads kind of, put out the comments there, we can still monitor that while I hop into DeFi, if we're good with that.
Yeah, I did have one question that came through. Fresco said, how would the LADZ vault work? I don't know how the whale vault works. The whale vault's very vault specific. So the token is tied to the actual assets in the vault. So a lot of the things that they're doing in the whale community are heavily focused around getting more assets, more quality assets into that vault, and therefore increasing theoretically the token price. The LADZ vault will be some of that, but will also, I'll give you an example. The ability with our content to do Layer1Live, to do NFT live specifically for NFTs, because most of the vault assets are NFTs, we can go out to these projects and they actually reach out to us and they say, hey, we want you to promote our project. We'll drop you a certain amount of NFTs. So what we can do then with that vault is have that pool. So we have all of these projects that recognize the power of NFT Live, of Layer1Live, and they say, oh, I'm going to drop you NFTs. Please promote my project. Please drop it to the rest of your members, and then we can then drop those NFTs to people who are holding X amount of LADs. So there's your utility for the NFT drops. We could technically be doing this now. The bottleneck is the bandwidth, right? And that's where the person that's coming in to help with this will be able to kind of expedite this for you guys. So
yeah, I think somebody commented this like, damn, Layer 1 is dropping so much alpha. Chill out for a second, the token is gonna get out of control.
It's gonna be a fun time. Shout out to the whole team, man. You guys have been killing it. I'm gonna drop this link. We're at 323. If I put Joel off, we
67.
did it. Yeah, we did it last week, or I think it was 2 weeks ago when we interviewed Joel. So I can't put Joel off again, or he's gonna excommunicate me from all of this. So guys, a great discussion. Layer 1 and LADZ NFT Artist Launchpad. Soon. Okay.
Okay, cool. So while you do that, let me run through some DeFi stuff so you guys kind of have an idea what's going on in the DeFi world. Obviously, the first thing that happened was the Pickle Finance. You guys probably heard of the Pickle exploit. Had to do with flash loans. Shocker. 20 million in DICE. They say stolen. We can debate that. But I wouldn't, we can just leave it whatever, people kind of feel it is. But they've exploited the inefficiency there. They got the 20 million worth of DAI, and that comes to be as the biggest kind of flash loan attack since Harvest a month ago, which was 30 million. Again, this is type of stuff that kind of continues to happen. The overall exploit was quite complicated, but it still has to do with the flash loans, right? So, and Pickle Finance was audited by many auditors and all that stuff, and right, people think that hey, this thing is just not going to be vulnerable, but we know that has proven to be wrong in the past. So just be careful, when there is a big pool, right, there is kind of that bullseye, right? There's the honeypot for these exploits to happen, and eventually we'll make things right and fix these kind of loopholes. The overall market will correct itself, and we're gonna see less and less of this, right? This is just a participant that's identifying an exploit and hitting the market, and then causing some pain, right? But eventually we will move out of it, and we're going to start closing those holes up, right? And move into the way where I've explained earlier, where flash loans are going to be used more for arbitrage and market efficiency rather than exploits, right? The next one that we got is Bancor. So Bancor is announcing BNT liquidity mining. So obviously, well, this was announced actually on the 16th last Monday, but they just like any other liquidity mining, like we've seen on, on Uniswap, SushiSwap, starting on November 16, any user who provides protected liquidity to propose rewards and pool, which is ETH, WBTC, USDT, USDC, DAI, Link, Ocean, and Rain BTC. They will be receiving basically rewards in that BNT. Again, similar type of stuff that we've seen from SushiSwap, where you farm sushi by providing liquidity. It looks like Bancor is moving into that place as well. The entire program is looking like it's going to run for 72 weeks. So that's pretty cool.
Awesome. All right. I'd love to give more time to Uni and Sushi, man. Like, obviously this piece of news real quick that you can hit is basically that Uni has already stopped their rewards. It's seen, and I could pull up the full liquidity. I believe it's hovering around $1 billion and something. Let me see. I can easily pull that up for you guys. But Sushi is increasing in liquidity locked, or can you touch on this?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I got caught here in somebody's birthday here in chat. I think one of the lads' birthday in chat, if that's true. I'm not sure. Definitely not my birthday. But the Uni, we're on Uni, right? So the Uni rewards a halt Sushi sees inflow. So we obviously saw this, almost half of liquidity leaving Uniswap, while SushiSwap added liquidity because obviously the rewards that have been implemented while the Uniswap rewards have halted. So it's a temporary solution, right? And it's I think the most fascinating part really is the fact that how much liquidity stuck around rather than how much actually left. It's you can incentivize liquidity as much as you like, but at the end of the day, we always talk about those liquidity providers that are there just for the rewards, right? They're not going to stick around, then that's not really efficient in terms of the process. You want to incentivize liquidity and then move away from having incentivized liquidity and that liquidity staying. That is the ideal goal. But the battle between the liquidity, who has more liquidity, especially between the SushiSwap and Uniswap, that's still going to be going on, right? And everybody's trying to capture as much liquidity as possible. SushiSwap obviously came out as soon as the rewards ended from Uni. They're like, hey, surprise, we got this special program of more rewards that are coming through in the form of DAI and all that good stuff. And therefore, they were able to get that. Let me see if there's a...
I had the analytics here. It was they topped out at 3.3 bill, and then post the rewards actually ending, it went down to 1.6. Which it steadily rose 1.76 today.
Yeah. So, I mean, in general, Uni's still fine. It just, you see just some of liquidity migrating just to capture the rewards. But again, they have to understand that that switch of liquidity happened because the rewards are introduced on SushiSwap. And once that's going to run out, there's obviously a time frame for that, how much of that is going to be left. Then you want to probably look at Sushi as the price. That's probably not gonna, that's probably gonna be dumping because of people farming sushi and dumping it onto the market. Same thing, I think somebody mentioned for Bancor as well, since they're gonna incentivize liquidity mining by providing BNT. Probably BNT is gonna go through a cooling as well.
Got it. Okay. All right. Let's touch on Andre's new product, or I'm sorry, rug. Oh, I mean product. Let's hit on the NFTs after that. But let's do this because Joel's gonna rip my head off.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So really quick, Andre, how do you pronounce his last name?
Cronje or Cronje.
Cronje. Yeah, we obviously know that interesting player in our industry, but he's starting basically what's called DeRSwap, which is it's a platform that's going to be not only a place where you can just swap tokens like Uniswap, it's also going to give you the ability to do futures trading, options trading, and loans, lending and borrowing. So he's trying to compile all of this all into one, and I guess the whole thing about it decentralized and all that good stuff. The swaps, he talks about how he became increasingly upset with the capital efficiency. Current liquidity is segmented. You get choose one of swaps, uni, options, Deribit, and then other players, loans, Aave, Compound, so on. So it gets segmented a lot. So he wants to bring it all together, which is fantastic. And I always talk about it, how it's great to bring all these liquidity together and then have them compete for the volume, and that will make the whole market more efficient. So now you have this one platform that aggregates all the liquidity from all these places, and that's what they're working on releasing. There's no date for it just yet, but this is something that's going to be on the horizon that he's working on.
Awesome. Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. As always, Andre is putting out and innovating. Just be careful, guys. He tests in production, so just make sure. But the DeFi space will be less without him, and Wi-Fi has shown to be good. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I got to run. Joel is, we're going to have this meeting with the guys from the Bad Crypto Podcast. They're looking to start possibly their own social token. We'll see. The alpha drop there. But NFTs, real quick. So Meme had their rug pull event, which is a really cool and fascinating discussion. Hopefully we can touch on it next week. But they had a series of 12 different art pieces, one of which had one single Bitcoin inside of it. And then it worked out so if you unveiled it, you had in some action you had to unveil it, and if you unveiled it and you had the Bitcoin, it made the rest of them worthless. So it was this real social experiment, as Dimitri called it, that should be interesting. But those auctions are going on now. I think somebody in the beginning of this episode was talking about Whale actually putting in an interesting bid on one of these pieces. Sandbox was pumping as well. There's not much news. They did like a 50K grant, but that was pretty much it. And then Aavegotchi as well is getting getting an investment from Aave itself. So that's going to be Aave's first actual investment in any projects. I'm sure they have a treasury that's focused with these projects. So Aavegotchi is getting some investment to kind of go forward. I believe the studio is called Pixelcraft. That is the team behind Aavegotchi. And then Cogs, Pepe, and Alien Worlds are launching this week. Guys, come back to the episode afterwards. The links are all there so that you guys can check out all of the different sales this week, and you guys can do that.
This is Q at 2x speed. Yeah, I like how using crypto said the only rug pull I support.
It's Persian. It's Persian here. Yeah. Guys, we have a big week. I think we hit 70. Honestly, we hit 70 people. We'll have to see what we actually did. Let me see if I can see if we peaked out. We definitely peaked out at around 70, so all-time high to beat. As the people said before the episode went live, this was our best episode to date. Really fun episode. We were doing so many things with LADZ. Dima, you're awesome, man. You and Zach have put this together. Look at that. Boom. Happy trading.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, so we got Dimitri's desk tomorrow. We also have
LADZ Radio?
Yeah, LADZ Radio is happening right now. Go to the description. In the description below, there is a link to our Discord. Doesn't matter if you don't have any LADs. If you have one LAD, LADZ Radio is open to the community. Maybe we change that going forward. But LADZ Radio, Buff is taking over. Some chill tunes, some LADs. Maybe we'll drop something on you guys. Maybe not. I'm not promising a damn thing. But you guys have been killing it. I can't say enough. We have so many of you guys here, and we can't say enough about all of you. So
yeah, it's amazing. You guys have been powering us, and we love it every day we do this. So as always, Until next time.
Till next time, guys. I was not ready to end the stream there, but we will. Love you guys. We'll see you later. Happy trading. Boom. All right. That's it.